Microplastics are causing disruption in how plants grow. This could lead to a food shortage globally. Okay, so not the normal content on this account, but for those who have been watching Independent Thought for some time, you'll know that microplastic pollution is something that I've talked about in the past, actually something that I really care about. So congratulations, everyone. We have found a new way to eliminate all life on Earth. We are trying so many different ways to find a way to eradicate, ourselves off this planet. I guess to be fair, there's still time for zombie apocalypse, another virus, climate change, aliens. My favorite, artificial intelligence. Still think that the Terminator is probably the most likely, or Matrix probably the most likely version of how we all die. I didn't have food being unable to grow due to microplastic pollution, but hey, you know what? We are creative people, are we not? What's up on the screen really quickly here? I found this from our friends at Ground News. They know how much I love them. So again, microplastic pollution is messing with photosynthesis in plants. So put this next piece up on the screen here. This is again from Ground News. Microplastics are interfering with plant photosynthesis, potentially reducing crop yields worldwide. According to a study published in the Proceedings of National Academy of Sciences, researchers analyzed data from 157 studies and found that these plastic particles could decrease photosynthesis in plants and algae by up to 12%. The study estimates that it could result in 4 to 14% drop in yields for wheat, rice, corn. If you know anything about just basic things that we need to survive, those are all on that list. As well as 7% decline in fish and seafood. Scientists have previously found that microplastics can enter plant systems, blocking nutrient absorption and releasing harmful chemicals. Marine scientist Marcus Erickson called the findings really scary, while others urge caution. This topic is of considerable importance, but the conclusion should be treated with great caution. That quote is paid for you by the big oil industry. No, I don't actually know that, but let's be fair. That's said by Richard Lampitt of the UK's National Oceanography Centre, questioning the quality of data used in the model. Some experts believe plants could adapt to slower growth without significant losses in food production. The study calls for a global treaty on plastic pollution, though negotiations have stalled. Marine biologist Richard Thompson noted that cutting microplastic levels by 13% could reduce photosynthesis loss by about 30%. If we don't take action now, within the next 70 to 100 years, we'll see much more wide scale ecological harm. So, a couple different things here. It feels like if you're one of those people who just does not care, like whatsoever, about environmental impacts on the planet and on people, then you hear scientific study and in 20 years we're all going to die and like it's only 10% and it just washes right over you. You're like, yeah, whatever. I don't care. Like get all that stuff out of here. Don't tell me how to live my life. I'm an American. And then you move on with your day. There are other people who go the complete opposite direction, and hearing anything makes them go into a frenzy and they want to swear off every piece of plastic in their house. I understand the challenges that we have in our world. Okay. I'm definitely not one of those people who thinks that, we have to just ignore all of the science. I'm also one of those people who thinks that there has to be a practical way about going about how we do make changes. Unfortunately, plastic is everywhere. It's everywhere. And I don't know how quickly we are going to get rid of it. And that's if there's an appetite to get rid of it. It is unfortunately such a cheap product. And so many people rely on that because it is so cheap that just finding a way to get it out of our everyday use, I mean, it's going to take a phenomenal effort, one that's probably going to need government funding. And, when it comes to anything that's government funding related, that's going to involve Congress, which is going to involve lobbying efforts by people who don't want it to leave. And we always know how those battles end. They always end, with the people having the most money getting what they want. And I do believe that there is some lever here that we can push as people, though, through buying practices, through just like shopping choices, just lifestyle choices. Yes, at the end of the day, this is a big oil problem. People who produce the chemicals needed in order to produce plastic. This is a plastics corporation's problem. They are the ones creating all this stuff because it's really cheap. They're making a lot of money. They do not care. They do not care. They don't care. However, we can get lost in that apathy or we can try to do something. I mean, even the smallest gestures honestly matter at the end of the day with these things. Deciding to take paper bags at the grocery store, deciding to buy things that are reusable and trying to reuse them so that you are limiting your use of single-use plastics. If you're involved in local politics at all, try to get a ban on single-use plastics where you live, if it's possible. Some states won't even allow you to do that at the local level, which that's always fun. Um, but there are ways that you can kind of get more involved. There are ways that you can make individual choices that we are limiting plastic production. Because here's the fun fact about the world that we live in, right? If you want to go to your government and say, I want a change to happen, you are a lot less likely to actually get that change than if you are to put a coordinated effort into essentially boycotting a product. Say you start funneling your money towards reusable items and you funnel your money away from single-use items. Well, at the end of the day, the capitalists who run our society, all they really care about is the dollar. Wherever the money's going, they're going. That's where their loyalties lie. They don't give a damn about destroying the earth. They don't give a damn about saving the earth. Where's the money? So if we start putting our money in a different place, they will react because all they care about is getting our money. And I think that is the type of thinking that we might need to take forward with us when it comes to trying to figure out how do we address this problem for real. Because maybe calling your local senator and asking for a bill to be passed is a complete waste of time. But when you go to Walmart, maybe getting a paper bag or a canvas bag or buying something or buying a water bottle versus buying, a case of single use, like bottles of water. I think that kind of thing, especially if it's coordinated with not just yourself, but with quite a few people getting groups together to commit to buying like this, I think that has a much larger set of power than us trying to lobby our government because let's be fair, unless you have, a couple $1 million, they're probably not taking you seriously anyway. Thank you for watching this video of independent thought. If you liked the conversation, please go ahead and give the video itself a like and be sure to subscribe for future episodes on the channel.